Alright, so before we take this out on the road, I'm going to kind of button everything up. As you saw in the last video, all the wires are kind of scattered everywhere, and I'd like to kind of tape them up with electrical tape, both for heat insulation and just to make it look better. And here's where the actual converter sits, so I'm going to try and put that somewhere. The main thing I want to do today is that ECT2 connector. I'm a little bit iffy about that. So I'm actually going to try and remove the front bumper. And we're going to see how we can clean that up. So probably going to cut real quick to the bumper being off if I can get it off. No promises there, but I'd really like to, just to make sure that connector is on there good, not the connector itself, but the wires that I split into. Make sure it's good connection, and electrical tape it up really good so no water can hit it. Alright, so I got this plastic off here, and that exposes the radiator, and it is something. Maybe the AC condenser. Might be what it is. But yeah, so that was basically that plastic piece and this rubber. So it was a bunch of these tabs. There's 3 types of tabs, single, and then these two double ones are at the end, and these were in the middle, so I kind of separated them. But they're just little push pins. But so that's the first step. I'm going to go underneath, and there's a bunch of those underneath as well as Allen head bolts and screws, and also 2 screws on the sides as well, and that should pop right out. Alright, so that was actually way easier than I thought it was. Basically underneath, all you had was a couple of these push pins, 2 Allen head bolts, and 2 10mm bolts, and 4 of these Phillips screws. So this is what it looks like. Here's my PRL cold air intake. That's where it sits, in case you were wondering. But yeah, this is everything all. Here's the bumper. Basically the plastic comes off with it. Super simple. And then just unplug the fog lights. So now, let's see if I can see. Here it is. So there is that wire. But yeah, everything's looking good. So it looks like you'd have to do this to, get to the intercooler piping and all of that. It's kind of cool to see all this stuff. I've never had this off before. Alright, so I tried to reposition the light here, and as you can see, this is very sketchy. And remember, I couldn't see it all when I was doing this. I did it all kind of blind. But right there is that connector. So you can kind of see, yeah, that is, there's no tape on it. And yeah, I don't even know how it's still reading, to be honest. Alright, so I'm still astonished that that worked, and the signal actually read, because it was touching by maybe two of the wires. Like the actual, like there's the wires, but then there's actually the individual little single strands. Each one was touching by like 2 or 1 of those. So I'm surprised it got the correct signal that it needed. But here is, here's what I did. I just cleaned it up a little bit. So as you can see right there, it's sealed up pretty good now. No water's gonna get to it, and I actually twisted them together pretty good. So I don't think that's going anywhere. As you can see, there's the black wire that's going up through and over to the converter. So that's out of the way of anything. I think this is looking way better than what it did because that was pretty sketchy. Okay, so I got the bumper back on, and now it's just a matter of putting in these push pins. Let's see how easy that is. There's one. So I made sure to separate all these. These are the middle ones. So we will try and put a couple in here on camera. Pretty simple stuff here. I will say putting the underside on was a bit of a pain because of lining up all these push pins. The plastic kept falling down. It took like, maybe 5-10 minutes to actually get the plastic lined up, especially the Allen keys. There's 2 of them, but Allen bolts, I should say, screws, Allen, whatever. To line them up, there's like 3 layers of plastic and then the thing that it threads into. So it was really hard to get those lined up. I actually did those 2 last, so just a bit of advice. All right, so actually I decided I'm gonna stop here because I just looked and I have this vacuum hose, and I think the 3 wires here going to the sensor and getting power and ground and the signal. I think they'll fit inside of this vacuum hose, and that'll keep it sealed up really nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this for another day. I'm gonna go take it for a spin and see if we are still receiving the E85 signal from the PT2. I'll see if I can display the clutch slip that's happening now because way over the factory clutch limits. And yeah, we'll head to the car.